Alright, 6 o'clock, we call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Any public comment? None?
Do we have Patty as an excused absence or unexcused?
Well, I haven't checked my emails today, so he's probably excused.
Excused it is.
I came right from work and I was at work at 5, so if anything after 5 a.m. I don't know anything about.
I'll give her.
She probably sent it.
I'll give her a bad time.
There you go.
There wasn't
If she
anything
didn't
with
communicate.
Okay. As of right now,
That's her last
she'll
warning.
yes. As of right now, she'll be excused, and I'll let you know if that changes.
Okay.
All right, the minutes from September 10th.
I saw nothing. Unless somebody else is going to make a motion to approve the minutes
Yeah.
of September.
Motion by Dan to approve the September 10th minutes.
I can second the motion.
A second by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have to abstain.
Yep.
I wasn't here.
Angie and
Same.
Christie. All right. All right. Town building updates. Laura.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have the first set of plans that was submitted to us. And I'm looking for comments.
The north elevation that's looking from the road at it, correct?
From the parking lot. Oh, I'm sorry, from the parking lot, yes.
Okay.
Road. Highway. I have asked the treasurer, the clerk, deputy clerk, all to look at these and give their response. They did not like the one where the town hall is very long.
What do you mean by long?
So there's two plans. One, the Saratoga Town Hall shows a voting storage and a table and chair storage at the back end of the hall. They
Okay.
prefer that over the one where it shows the long, narrow hall.
Oh, where the voting and table is, like where the kitchen is now?
Right,
So they want the voting and voting storage and table chairs where the stage is now,
right.
instead of where the kitchen.
Right, and then also it shows a building inspector's office.
I knew I should have brought my magnifying glass.
Yeah,
this
they're
is
always
tough.
so stinking tiny. Let me take a picture of it and blow it up. You can't even see what I'm looking at.
Well, you guys can all take your time and look at them. It doesn't, at this point in time, the spaces are small for the assistant, so the records room will be made a little smaller, being that there's records room area down in the basement. And the voting equipment can be put over in this voting room, so it didn't need to be as big.
Oh, I see.
And the assistant's room needed to be a little larger because in the future, should there be a more full-time employee, I would say it would be the assistant. So that is why that office is directly across from the entry door. And that office then should not have any connection to be able to go into the records room or the clerk's office at any given time, so. That's kind of why that's there. The bathrooms are located where they are for two reasons. One is that the sanitary and the water will be coming in basically from the back. And also should in the future, the Public Works building and this building be joined, the bathrooms can be utilized for both.
Good.
And then there would just be The other bonus to the one plan is you'll see the chairman's office is quite large, and then there is a coat closet there. It has been suggested to just remove that coat closet, put a wall there, and combine the conference room with the chairman's office, which makes more logical sense because the chairman will be involved in most of the meetings anyway. And that would free up that conference room for a future office.
So that's
Which-
plan
which-
SD3?
Yeah, no matter where you're looking at, that's just one of the comments that was brought forward.
These are actually
So
numbers right down
the
here.
closet is, the closet that she's speaking of
See
is,
that SD3 and SD4?
The SD4,
yeah, SD4 would be where the closet is, right?
right. The SD4, generally, that's the plan that they like. And I think that's more of a workable plan for us.
So if the only change on SD4 was to adopt a more similar
Chairman's
chairman slash
Right.
boardroom there, what happens to on SD4, the little boardroom that's down in the corner, bottom left corner of the main area? Would that also be an additional?
That would be a future office.
Okay, which could function as a boardroom if you furnished it that way, but
Sure.
it would be an extra office space because,
Sure.
okay.
For in the future. And where it says building inspector next to that room, that would be / zoning administrator office, because there's no reason to have an office for both of the part-time people. And it made more sense to, in the other one, in the SD3, you'll see that the building inspector's office is near the bathrooms. And that is, that's not a full-time office, so it doesn't make sense to have it in with the full-time staff when you could actually close off the other part of that. And you'll see that the doors between the hall and the hallway have been relocated. They're between now the hall and the clerk.
Oh, yeah.
They're just relocated.
So either plan, there's not a lot of cost difference, I would say.
No, I wouldn't think so either. The clerk is not, liking any of this. She doesn't like the remodel at all. She thinks that the hall will be too small, and I did tell her that no matter if we built new or use this, that's as big as the hall's ever gonna be.
The voting hall?
But you gotta realize when you have all of this open space to utilize,
Right.
and then they tell you you're gonna have smaller space, then you're a little nervous because, you know, now you're gonna be in a
But we
smaller
probably
space.
have one of the largest voting
Yeah.
areas in
We
the
have
area.
plenty of room. And plus, most of our voting is done beforehand.
So if people vote here and have to use the restroom, they have to go down the hall then, right?
Yeah,
Through
and
the-
it looks really long, but that hallway isn't that long.
Meetings at this big hall.
No, that's just literally where the EMTs
Where
are
the
now.
EMS is, yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not-
okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
this would
No,
be.
it's not,
this would be-
Not that far. I'm just-
No, it just looks like it
probably
because
One
of
more
the,
down,
there.
one
Yeah.
more door
Yeah.
down, so to say. It's-
Yeah.
and,
Depending on
and
what-
keeping that hallway between those two bathrooms utilizes for in the future, should you put the addition on to join the two buildings, that's already there.
Sure.
18, looks like, maybe 16.
So Lorelei, with either one of the hall plans,
Uh-huh,
you know, when you're thinking of, board meetings and you're thinking of like our meetings,
sure.
is it still an option to have, you know, the pole divider to make the room smaller so you're not heating the whole thing? Is it necessary? Is it, I mean, I just, because you think of our meetings, where would we function in here? And is that room?
We could do
big,
that.
too
We
small
can
to
put
hire?
a partition, it would go from on the other side of both of those doors.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's still, if it is wanted or requested, that's still doable. It's a panel door, it's not.
Right, it's just those kind of,
Right.
that slide,
Right.
yeah.
Part of this part of this remodel job would be to insulate that,
Yes, so
that hall better though.
part of this whole thing is basically insulating on the outside, insulating on the inside, new electrical, new plumbing, new HVAC, a new septic drain field, all code compliant. And the code just changed the 1st of October for the commercial code. That's why the architect he's struggling a little bit because of the new code. Because the new code is based on energy, so.
My reasoning and my thought for the divider situation is always in the hall when we have meetings, either board meetings or whatever kind of meetings. If the microphones are not working well, people can't hear, and then they're upset. So the smaller you make a room,
Yeah,
you can
right.
cut down some of that noise. That it just would be more beneficial and practical to have a divider that you could make a smaller space.
And to speak to that also, our IT guy is on board, and we will, contact him,
Oh,
because
sure.
we're also going to need, the visual aids and all of that kind of stuff, even in the small conference room to
Right.
record meetings. So, yeah, we realize we have a lot of work.
Yeah, and insulating that room is gonna help with acoustics
Oh,
Absolutely.
automatically anyway, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the ceiling height in the hall doesn't really have to be that tall, does it?
It's going to be.
Yeah,
It's going to be back to where the original was, just because it's easier to heat, easier to run the plumbing, the electrical, and everything if it's wide open. It'll just be painted black. But then we can do acoustical tiles. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do for acoustics nowadays, so. We're trying to keep costs down, but keep it attractive and current and,
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate some of the features added to the exterior to give it a more,
More
curb
professional, right?
appeal, bring it.
right? And they're bringing the Public Works building forward so it matches a lot, the frontage will match.
Oh, so towards the north?
Right, so that'll help, should the future be to connect the buildings. But I was told by Jonathan yesterday, and in doing that, even if we built in the same place, we don't have enough distance between the two buildings, so we're gonna have to put in firewalls. Luckily, the building that we have already has a firewall because it's got the block wall. But the new Public Works building will have to have a block wall for a portion of it, probably where the offices are.
Okay.
Not, and just because of the vicinity of
Yes,
each one?
because of the vicinity, correct. And I also talked to, I guess while we're on the subject, the soil tester today. The new code says that if you have a wash bay and drains in a garage where you're doing maintenance to vehicles, you have to have a holding tank for that. So that's gonna require two separate systems. But we may be able to utilize one system for the bathrooms of both buildings. Just, we know we need a holding tank system for the other part.
And that's a holding tank on its own?
Yep.
Like they would only go
Totally.
into that?
Yep.
Not like a grease trap or whatever?
Nope, totally changed the rules. Nope, it's all holding tank.
So it has to be pumped up periodically?
Yep,
So if you wash trucks, that has to go into that?
yep, that's what he said
Holding
today.
So.
Actually, he didn't tell me that. The guy who's installing the septic is the one who told me that. And he's not sure if it gets reviewed at the county or at the state, so.
So just for my clarification on the Public Works building, because I know I missed last meeting, when I look at the photo where all the bay doors are, is that still facing Carousel Court area?
Yes,
Okay, and so when we're talking lining up the front, we're talking about that little add-on,
it's where the offices are,
the
Yeah.
office building,
pulling
okay,
it
So it
forward
looks like
to the parking
This
lot.
piece would be in line, right, for the building?
in line with the, yeah,
Yeah.
this one, got it. Okay, thank you.
What are those dimensions? The
Pardon?
public works building with dimensions I have?
I don't know. I don't have a copy of it. You guys got copies, I don't.
Oh, I can't read it. I apologize.
Let me see if I can zoom it in on my phone. That's what I could do.
I don't have copies.
You know, without a magnifying glass, it's great strength.
I'm gonna guess 145 by 50.
You zooming in?
Yeah,
I'm
whether
zooming
that's
it in, but
50 or
it's so
58, I'm
blurry.
not sure, but it looks like
Yeah, it's 125.
I think I see
See, I
125.
see 145, but do you see 145 or 25?
125 would have been my first guess.
If I could
No, it
get
could be
into
one.
the,
By 55, it looks like I'm you zoom it in, but you zoom it in and it gets blurry.
So that's 50.
And actually, if I,
Was it number 200 kicked around?
pardon?
200, was that kicked around? 200 feet deep?
I don't remember.
And we better. Are these available electronically?
Yes, I can send them.
That might be
electronically.
helpful to disperse
Yeah,
them up that way. You can zoom them in, mess with them. You can
Okay.
print. So Josh,
That's what I
if
did
you want,
too. I took pictures.
I can make that happen.
Lorelai and Josh, if you guys could get them out to us electronically, I think that would be tremendously helpful.
Okay, can do that.
I mean, but
yeah, if you, Lorelai, if you just wanna send it to me, I'll forward it off to the
Okay, I can do that.
plan commission.
Actually, I'll have Paulette do that.
And according to the pocket thing on my pen, it's 145. Because this way is 50. If that's 50 across the top,
Oh, I think it's 55 on my phone.
well, then it's 100 and still probably close to 145. That's
I'll get it sent to you guys.
appreciate it.
I had to blow them up for Douglas today,
your
but I didn't.
Official engineer role.
Yep. Yep.
so I mean, so we're working on refining these drafts of these designs, and then it would be the next part of the process would be,
Once we get them
Getting-
refined, then he'll
getting-
give us a set.
and then putting that out for bids,
Um,
getting an idea of
yeah.
total cost, and then working on
What we want to do.
some form of presentation to the
Well,
public, or what's the next part of the?
then it would be, are we gonna build new then, or are we gonna go with the remodel? The cost will tell us what we
Okay,
potentially are going to do.
got it.
That's
So,
my assumption that you guys,
Getting back to the hall itself, so the meeting room is
yes,
the hall,
yes,
the existing hall, that's the meeting room.
yes.
Okay.
And where you see on that SD4, Dan, where it says table storage and vote storage, and you'll see that big conference table, that's where the stage area is now.
Yes, yes.
So actually, the meeting room changed in size, just the width of these offices, because
yeah,
the
the ones
stage
on
area
the-
was not even,
The east side, yeah,
Right.
the stage area is still
right,
where those offices are.
right.
So just narrowed it up by,
I can see Paulette's concern, however, the majority of our voting the last time was, when they came in ahead of time to vote.
well, like we said, that they utilize every square inch they have over there. I mean, they're really the north side end of the building, probably a quarter of it is not utilized
Right.
at all.
Right, and yeah, we kind of mentioned that, so we'll just have to see how it works.
Yeah.
I think it'll work just
As a
fine.
township, I mean, we do have a big area.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you look at other communities, they function a lot smaller. They just
Their
design
voting,
and lay out
their
their
voting
areas
lines,
more efficiently.
Yes.
their voting lines
yeah.
are often on the sidewalk. Also.
And
Yeah.
to be
Yeah, we
don't
realistic about it, we had early voting and we did 70% of our voting at least was early voting, and it was done right there in that hallway.
Yep.
I mean, we didn't even have anything set up in here, which is what we just got done discussing,
Hindsight.
that it's all gonna be in here. We'll take the tables and chairs down
Yeah.
and we'll put them back up,
We don't need a bigger place.
because we don't need people standing out in the hallway like what happened last time. But
Yeah,
we
when-
didn't know.
Yeah, when you think of what Grand Rapids has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
their
single.
population is so much bigger than ours.
Yeah.
And what they utilize up there, you know, and
Well, and it's the layout. They've had that same layout forever and
Yeah.
they don't want to change it. And sometimes you need to change things. It'll be fine.
so
all the meetings, planning, zoning, and the regular, they're gonna be held in the big area, not this conference room?
Right. The conference room is for closed sessions or for, that type of meeting, meetings with developers or whatever. So that big area there will be like a partition screen in between the two, so that it can be made smaller. I mean, that's what we had discussed previously.
And Rob just asked pretty much the same question I was gonna ask is, we've got 9 people here today.
Yeah.
Would we be able to have a meeting in there if we
Sure,
wanted?
yeah.
The only concern that I would have is, I would assume that if this hall is gonna be where our meetings are at, that this would be somewhat of a permanent fixture in that.
No, I think we're gonna do it from overhead.
Well, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
like we can't take it off the ceiling. Like,
Right.
if this was mounted permanently in there.
Right.
Or we could just turn it on remotely, then.
Yeah.
We wouldn't
Well-
be able to have meetings in there without it.
We'd have to have one in the conference room anyway.
Oh, yeah,
I
we would
mean,
have to have like this one.
Just for,
or something
yeah,
like
for security. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, I definitely have been at town meetings in conference rooms like that, and they just set up chairs around the table for public.
Right.
Especially when you only have 1 or 2 or
Yeah.
3 people, it's very common.
Yeah, they do it in Wood County even.
Yep.
And Wood
Yeah.
County is county, but yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah,
that would,
like, excuse
Go
me,
ahead.
like the planning and zoning meeting, I mean, it's in a
It's a little
room,
closet.
one,
Yeah,
1/3
Yes,
this size.
yeah.
I
that
mean,
is a fact, yeah,
It's
you-
tiny.
With all of their committee people,
Yeah.
if you're there, you're standing in the hallway,
yeah,
looking
Sometimes.
through the door.
yeah.
my second question to that was, what size is our voting storage right now?
We have none.
So, well, we have that corner,
Yeah, we have that little corner, it's like 10 by 10.
okay,
You mean where the stage is?
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, just to the
And
left
then we
of the
put
stage.
the rest of the equipment comes in here because it's sensitive.
Right,
So, yeah,
okay,
so now it will all be out of there and that's
and
why.
in one spot,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll configure something else for tables and chairs. All of our tables and chairs are on a straight cart. Well, they make double deckers and
Right.
that just makes more sense, utilizes space. So there are a few things that will change. We can take our furniture over there. I mean, it's not like we're gonna have to, invent the wheel or anything.
Speaking of furniture, I don't know if you knew that all the desks and cupboards and all that stuff Douglas is the one that actually, I think, ordered them. It came through, I don't know if it was the prison system or
We
just
have,
what
yeah.
what it was.
We have the file on it, yep.
Yeah.
I looked it up, you bet.
Yeah, and that, as far as, they're all movable. Everything
Right.
in there is movable.
It's
so,
piece,
yeah, it
Yeah.
seems to have worked very well.
very well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking that, and then we have a website too where we can get furniture from like universities and other,
Yeah, there's always
Municipalities.
surplus.
so it's
Always
not
got
like
some.
we have to go out and buy new stuff. I mean, I don't see the need for that myself, but, yeah. Yeah, being said. So I think that's about all I got to bring forward at this time. But I would appreciate comments, maybe through Josh, and then Josh, you can get them to me, because the sooner I get them to Jonathan, the faster he can work. But anything constructive would be very helpful.
So you just answer me one question on that,
I'll try.
the SD4. So,
Okay.
general public is coming into the building, they're going through the old main entrance, yes?
So
I mean, not if they're going to the
they-
meeting hall.
Where
Is
the
there-
main entrance is right now, it'll have, we're gonna put a little, my assumption, we'll put a door there that says administrative offices.
Okay,
And then where the carport area is, it'll say town hall.
okay. So if they come in through administrative offices,
Mm-hmm.
are they then kind of, to get to the clerk, is there gonna be a window or something?
Yeah,
that
each,
they typically-
the treasurer has a door and a window, and then the
Oh, I see.
assistant will have a door and a window. It's just showing a window, but it will have to be a door and a window. And then the clerk, who is off to the side, will also have a door and a window.
Okay,
it almost looks like that wall by the clerk is probably all glass. Like more of an,
Yeah, yeah.
See,
It
and
can
I've
be
seen that
whatever,
as a
but,
desk, but- Okay, I mean, now that you said the door and the window, I see that for the treasurer and the assistant. So the clerk, they're still almost gonna have to turn in as they would the old way into the hall, but then the clerk is going to be right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
and there's not gonna be a door there, it's
Right.
just an opening, yeah. And we can cut it back so it flows the same too.
Yeah.
I mean, things can be done. This was just an initial draft to get our feedback, so.
Do they tend to put in the airlock like this door system has, the door and door? So you're not pulling that cold air in the building?
I don't know that, I don't know what has to be, I'm assuming you have to have a vestibule, yeah, he's got a vestibule on there,
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause the one you're pretty cold inside the hall.
yeah. By code now, you have to have a vestibule in a public place, yeah.
And that's a good point. For the entrance into the admin offices, yes, it has that.
Yeah.
The town hall entrance under the carport does not.
That's because that is not a primary entrance.
Okay,
It would be for voting though, right?
For voting, it would be,
Yeah, that's when the doors open the most.
yeah,
'Cause even the exit, if you're gonna use that east wall for an exit.
yeah,
That'd be a upgrade there too.
yeah.
They tried telling me the caulking on the weather stripping on the door of the east wall was the problem, why it was so cold in there.
Yeah,
Well, they were constantly opening.
yeah,
So all the heat was gone.
yeah, yeah, and that's gonna happen for one day,
Yeah.
but that's just how it is. I don't wanna have to build a vestibule in there just for that one day, because
Right.
that would just take up so much space and
Right.
it doesn't seem cost effective at all,
They could even use the exit as also with the entry.
yeah.
It's not a herd of cattle trying to get through the doors, so.
And, this building will be for,
EMS,
okay,
period. Because at such a time, okay, do you want me to go into that?
Might as well.
The EMS? What's going on with that?
As
sure.
long as we don't get off
Okay.
on,
Yeah, we can call it item number 10.
I was gonna say, make sure it's on your agenda.
As long as,
Well, I can just, it's part of the town building updates because EMS is coming
Oh, yeah.
over here.
that'll work.
So the EMS is gonna take over here and we did that. So it kind of worked out really great because we thought Wisconsin Rapids was gonna disown us. We thought they were gonna stop their ambulance service. So we were trying to be a little proactive because in 2027, we have to have something. And we met with the mayor last week and he said, well, I met with the mayor in June and he told me he was gonna raise our rates from $25 a year to $125 a year per person for ambulance service. And I said, that's not gonna work for us, we'll find something else. And then he kind of backtracked because we are the biggest municipality that they handle. So he came in the other day and he wanted to meet with the board again, so we went into closed session and what was presented to us was 56 or 57, I can't remember, $56 or $57 a year, starting in 2028 with a 3% increase yearly. It doesn't sound like much, but 3% adds up pretty darn fast when I started doing calculations, but that's what all the municipalities whose contracts are expiring are being put at the 56. So that when we get into where our contract expires, they're ramping up to our contract. So when our contract expires, we're all gonna be at the same rate. And it's all gonna be due the same time every year. So that being said, I would like us to be prepared if something goes sideways, I guess. So if we keep the EMS separate from the other parts of our building, it might be something we can use as a buy-in, or maybe modify this for sleeping or for keeping an ambulance here. I'm thinking of future, nothing that's happening now, so don't take that to anybody. But if we, have to address this in the future, it'll be easier to address if there's a separate building. So that's all I have to say.
I did see that Nakusa put their ambulance contract out for bids. Just within
Oh,
the
yes.
last couple of weeks?
Yes, they had to, because when Mike Harchie met with the mayor said, well, I'll tell you what, he asked him for a bid, and the mayor says, well, just put it up for bids, and if we see it, we'll bid on it. Well, then Mike Harchie got scared, and he came over to us and he said, I think they're gonna stop. And that scared all of us. So that's why we kinda got together and said, what can we do? And we were batting our heads against the wall. We actually were thinking about going to Aspirus and asking if they would actually use their med back and expand on it and then service the communities. But we hadn't gotten that far. We figured we'd wait and see what the mayor had to say, so.
But they kinda got you over a barrel.
They do, and he knows that, he knows we know that. But he did offer some perks along the way. We're gonna get a new ambulance I think he said every 3 years, which keeps the ambulances rotated. They're putting 6 more people on staff.
Of course, that was his reasoning for
3%.
increasing
And
his costs considerably.
he's offering more training for our employees and a better kickback. I don't know, they get $10 for every call they go on, they're gonna get 12 now, and it's just a little better service. I don't know if it justifies that big of an increase, but like you say, they have us over a barrel. 56 is better than 125,
That's for sure.
so. Oh, and then, thanks to Chase, they're gonna write into the contract that, should one of us wanna back out, we have to give each other 2 years' notice, which is pretty great. But Chase is the one who initiated that, so that was awesome. Okay, any other questions coming back to this building stuff? I'm sorry, I got waylaid.
Alright. Item number 6, driveway permit application and driveway ordinance review.
Did we get an answer on the question regarding the assessment impact of changing from, say, gravel to concrete or blacktop?
Yes, I called Claude and he said no.
No impact?
He doesn't look at it any different. The only thing he looks at is when they have that waiver for the concrete.
I wonder if we could just add in that waiver part of the application, kind of a, something to reference from gravel to blacktop or doesn't it make any difference? I don't know if it makes any difference as far as we're concerned. If it doesn't affect the appraisal value, the assessment, what's the difference if they got gravel or blacktop? Or go from blacktop or gravel to blacktop in the future? And the blacktop doesn't make any difference as far as road construction, replacing or anything like that. So it's not an added expense on the town side, replacing blacktop for blacktop, so.
And when they build a house is when they get their original driveway permit, or when they put in a shed, that's when they get their original driveway permit. So as far as culverts go, we know that. I mean, that's an initial cost when they get their building permit. So the only time that this actually comes into play is when they go to concrete from any other type of driveway. And all these years we've been charging them.
Yeah, and that's, that's covered as far as as that goes. Did anybody see anything in the ordinance itself that?
There is not. I looked it over.
No, I mean, as far as anything that bumped up, that jumped out at anybody that, oh, is that how it is? Or maybe that should be tweaked or anything. It's been there for a long time and nobody's had any problems with it as far as anything goes, so. And it was just, in May it was updated. I think that was when the waiver came in, wasn't it?
No, the waiver has been here for a lot of years, and I've been using that waiver since I started as a building inspector. But I did look through it, and there's nowhere that we address any type of fee for,
In the ordinance?
in the ordinance, for changing from gravel or,
Oh, that side of it, just the fee
Right.
initially for the permit itself.
right? See that?
I don't even know if that's in here.
I don't think it is.
What you mean by that? Like if I have a driveway right now to my house, and it's gravel, if I wanted blacktop, I wouldn't have to
Take out
clear
the-
that with you guys.
Right,
The only way I would have to come to the town is if I want to put concrete there.
in the right of way,
In the right of way.
Yeah.
yeah, just in the right of way portion, yeah.
You're rewriting the whole ordinance or upgrading it?
We already did.
Because what I've been doing when I do a driveway permit and I see it's to be concrete blacktop, I put in there the first 5 feet, the elevation should be 3 inches lower than the edge of the road. Because when the plow went by, I see people still wadely pouring driveways, and the concrete's following a straight plane from the driveway to the house.
Yeah, this don't specify 3 inches, it does say slope in though.
Yeah, because one fella over on Eagle Lane, he paved it, and same thing, from the road to the house is all one straight plane. So I had him pour this was a 3 foot by 4 foot little jaunt in front of it, so when the wind comes through, I told him, I said, we're not responsible if we hit that concrete, then the corner of the wind is gonna be doing the damage. And so he did pour a little area to carry the plow up and over.
Okay.
So, but I see, lately driveway's been paved, same thing, straight plane up, so they're not reading if it's in
Yeah,
there.
cause water's not supposed to drain into the roadway.
We do have,
Right.
That's in here.
in our ordinance, it says the culvert apron from the center of the culvert to the road pavement must have a minimum taper of 3 feet per 10 feet on
Yeah.
each side of the culvert.
So I don't know if I put in bigger letters, but it seems like people ain't abiding by it.
Do you think it would help if we had something on, the initial driveway permit?
Do they get a,
Yeah,
does,
initial
do
driveway
people
permit.
get a copy of this with this?
No, they do not.
Because, well, you probably know, but the corrugated pipe, it just says corrugated pipe. You gotta read this to get the type S HDPE.
Typically, it's the builder who comes in to get that.
Yeah.
It's not the homeowner.
Well, I've seen homeowners go to Menards and buy not even the double walls. Cause it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Scott Reitz, he's going by the rules, I would say, he's
Really should,
accurate, if not lower, going back, but some,
right.
yeah, it should be on the actual permit, so it stands out with that thing.
Yeah, most of your homeowners aren't gonna know that.
No,
If you haven't been in a plow truck and hit one, you don't know.
yeah, that one drive on Hillcrest, I had to regrade that because the blacktop's too high, so.
I've got a question on page 7,
Page 7.
letter D, down under 7.05, the shared driveway.
Doesn't apply anymore, does it?
Actually, it does.
How?
That supper club over here has a shared driveway.
And a shared driveway right over here.
That's
Yeah.
commercial, right?
Yeah,
So
this
do
doesn't
we,
differentiate.
but do we regulate the driveways on the commercial, on a state highway?
Not on the state highway, but I'm just saying that there's areas that have shared driveways that,
That are currently in place.
yeah, that are here.
So, but moving forward, because.
Yeah, moving
of-
forward, we wouldn't
we
allow it,
couldn't.
but they're already in existence. So that wouldn't be,
We know that they're in existence, and that's what we're trying to my understanding is we were gonna have one driveway per parcel,
Yeah.
period.
that's,
And then here it says that, the town board at its option may approve an access easement for more than one residential structure. So
But-
now what would be the criterias of all that? And that should be listed, what the criteria would be, that it would even be,
I don't think we need to list it, we'd just say no. I don't know that we would ever allow that.
Should we just take that out of there then?
sentence out of there then.
Because the county
I'd say
doesn't
take it
allow
out,
it anymore, right?
Because the county doesn't allow it, and we have all agreed through zoning we were not gonna allow it. Moving forward, I mean, we know that there's ones already within,
Right.
but I would say we shouldn't even have it in there as an option.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Because that almost promotes it that it is an option,
Sure.
just go
Then-
ask.
then
and even
anybody
if
go,
we
let's
clear
just
it's
do that.
not.
Once it's in there.
Let's just do that if we talk.
If we don't have any guidelines of us to follow is to say, well, no, you
Okay.
can't. We have no, like, you can't. Just
Yeah, I don't see that we're gaining anything by leaving it in there. If we read it and we're
No.
like, we don't want those any going forward. So I think striking
So
them
then
out.
you're totally eliminating what's over here and what's over on 13 with ones else.
Well,
moving-
those are
moving
those are
forward.
commercial.
And, yeah,
Those are commercial, and this says residential.
And that was a condo plat over there, not a,
and
Not at first, it wasn't.
well.
are we,
State highway.
so if we're gonna be updating this ordinance, then we have to put that on an agenda to do, instead of just doing
I think it's something we need to discuss
Well,
in
Would that be
the future, or even with commercial property, are we gonna allow one driveway for?
we could make
Cooked, as the kids say.
Yeah, let's get that answered first. Lorelai's question about driveway permit application during ordinance review. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. We're reviewing it.
Well, yeah, but we're also crossing stuff out of our ordinance, and we can't do that without changing our ordinance. You know what I mean?
so we would have to approve the ordinance
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
changes,
We'll,
right?
we'll just put it on the next agenda
We'll just
for the
put,
update the driveway ordinance,
Driveway ordinance update.
yeah, for the next agenda.
So we could essentially
Continue to review it.
record our future changes tonight.
Yeah.
And just approve it at the next meeting.
Absolutely. Okay, but getting back to this application, so do you want me to put something on there then for the grade of the driveway coming off the main road
On the application itself.
on the application itself?
I don't think it would hurt.
I don't think it would be
Okay,
either.
so where it says corrugated polyethylene, galvanized corrugated steel, concrete are only materials that may be used for culverts. In addition, the slope. What do you want me to put?
Didn't we say we had something?
There is something in
Three-
there.
But that says from a culvert, it
No,
doesn't.
there's another one. There's something.
Okay, there's something else in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I seen something.
It says the surface of the driveway connecting with the roadway shall slope down and away from the roadway's shoulder a sufficient amount in distance to preclude ordinary surface. Do you want me to put that whole thing on there?
Well, I don't know about the whole thing, but we probably need to establish some kind of pitch.
Could you insert that in with the vertical retaining walls of any type of construction are prohibited?
Again,
Could you,
that whole,
like, maybe leave the paragraph or the sentence below it strictly for culverts, but
Okay.
above it, where we prohibit retaining walls, we could also require the slope.
Yeah, because a significant amount is not a number, anybody can come up with a number on that. Should establish a number in linear footage, say 5 feet back, 3-inch drop, then you take off from there with your driveway to your property.
well, the problem with that is the culvert, isn't it?
Well, you have to have minimum cover,
Yeah,
but still, it does pose a risk. I mean, I've sure been in a grader in their driveway that's sloped out to the road. And it pushes your water all the way onto your road.
Follow the grade of the highway. Your driveway has to follow.
Yeah, because Doug said if they put the culverts in, they can even be buried as long as they're there. Because some areas where you're.
Well, you're determining whether or not you need a culvert
Right.
if there's a ditch.
Right. And like you said, if you do ditch in the future, at least you have a culvert in place.
so should I say a minimum taper of 3 feet per 10 feet?
3 feet and 10 feet is kind of steep, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Lock the hubs in.
Yeah, but your problem is your culvert cover again.
Right.
Well, it'd have to be what it is. We have to maintain that slope away from the road, and whatever takes place beyond that is.
Well, the road pitch is at 2%.
Right,
So if the driveway pitched in at 2%,
right, carry that right through.
right,
But you gotta put a number, I guess some people.
2%?
Percent is, yeah.
Yeah, you can use a percentage, but the next problem is who's gonna look at this before it gets blacktop or concrete on it?
Yeah,
Because once you concrete
Well,
it,
I don't think that that's the issue. I think if it wrecks one of our plows or if it hurts
Right,
something,
then you
then
can-
we can go back on it.
right,
yeah.
I
So we wanna
think they
avoid
were
that.
informed, they were told,
Yeah.
and if anything happens, then we can go back on it.
this actually happened with Enbridge, they left some stuff that one
Okay.
of the plow trucks hit.
So,
Yeah, so we go 3 inches back at 5 foot. Or even 2 inches would be,
Quarter inch per foot is 2%,
8 feet would be 2 inches.
yeah. If you had 2 inches of drop back,
In,
I don't know how to word it. I
2%
think,
slope.
well, the road's at 2%, right?
Roads at 2%, if you slope the driveway 2% for 8 feet, you'd be fine.
But we have to come up with a number.
That's what it says here.
Understand
Well,
2%.
if they're putting a culvert in, they better understand percentage.
Some people can't read
the
pavement.
surface of the driveway connecting with the roadway shall slope at a minimum of 2%.
For
got-
8 feet.
Okay, hold
Well-
on. This is 706, go page 8, 706C. It explains right there that the slope of the driveway has to,
Slope in,
On the property.
Shall meet the grade of the existing public roadway at its edge and not cause obstruction to maintenance or grading.
so that would be the same grade as the road.
yeah, well, where it meets.
I think instead of putting all of C on the application, we can just one sentence of 2% for however many feet.
Yeah, because all this is
You know what
saying
I
is your driveway meets the road. It doesn't say the driveway pitches in.
Oh, it should.
No, it says it has
Shall
to meet the
well, it
grade.
does say shall meet the grade, not follow the grade.
Yeah, it doesn't
Or not-
follow the
It
grade.
doesn't say follow the
So if
pitch.
this
it
is
says
the
meet
edge of your
grade.
road, your driveway could do this.
Yeah.
And it would comply with the way that's worded. So,
Well, then you could put
Changing-
in there no less than the grade, or
shall meet the grade and pitch and match the pitch.
Most roads are at 2%.
We're,
Some of yours might be.
So we're right in the middle of page 8, 706, letter C.
yeah,
The grade,
that portion of any private driveway within the limits of any public road, highway or street shall meet the grade of the existing public roadway at its edge and not cause an obstruction to the maintenance or the clearing of such public.
which that last sentence implies that it won't have a pitch.
But if you have a 2% pitch on your road and you match the grade, you're actually higher than that pitch.
Right, because you're going
So
straight.
what if you just add a few words
Yes.
where it says, meet the grade of the existing public roadway at its edge and continue for a minimum of 8 feet?
At 2%, yeah.
Well, the existing pitch, so it's just gonna continue the existing pitch for 8 feet, or 5 feet, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever number works.
Instead of and not cause an obstruction, take that off.
I would leave it,
Yeah, I think you can leave it, but
and additionally not cause an obstruction. But I mean, you could just pop it in there.
I'd like just one short sentence
Yeah.
about, like, on the application itself, so they
Right.
don't have to read the whole ordinance to find that sentence. I'd like just a sentence on the application saying, like, I don't know how to word it, but the first 5 feet of your driveway
Pitch
needs to
inward.
match the pitch of the roadway.
So just
Something
take,
like that.
take half of
At
that
2%
sentence.
or,
Take half of that sentence. The driveway shall meet the grade of the existing public roadway and extend 8 feet. Or at the edge and
I
extend
don't,
8
you still can't say meet the grade, because you're meeting that elevation.
has to follow.
It
Or
has to-
follow the grade, follow
it
the
has
grade.
to-
Follow the grade.
That's-
Maintain the pitch of the roadway
Yeah,
at
match-
2%.
Match the pavement, match pavement of road, slope back 5 feet, 3 inches, and it's clear as mud. Cause, you put 2% in there, people can't read a tape measure. You know, that's, you got to
Match
do this to a
the
lot of
pavement
people.
though,
What's that?
that can't work.
That's a lot of.
Because if you're saying the driveway shall meet the pavement,
Yep, the road,
yeah, but where it meets, okay, so it's meeting,
yep,
but now you're not saying it has to fall off, you're saying it just continues.
Right.
no, in 5 feet, you run your tape measure about 5 feet and you measure down 3 inches from the edge of the road, that's your slope.
That would, every driveway would have,
Yeah.
Too steep.
You always pitch backwards, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, but
That's
3
too much.
inches and 5 feet's a lot.
Well,
Not
it's
really.
quarter inch per foot.
yeah.
So
8 feet.
4 feet, you're 1 inch. 8 feet, you're 2 inches.
You're gonna have this at the end of your
Yeah,
driveway.
no, you take your driveway and push it backwards, you push your grade back.
so,
Why
No,
can't
I-
we just follow
At 8
the
feet,
pitch
you're
of
at-
the road?
So that might be even steeper in some spots. depending on the ground of the road.
Doug Pasno would have more input on this, I would think. I don't know, but it would be
Okay,
good
I'll
to
talk to Doug.
contact him, but
Yeah, I guess we can word it however Doug
I'll talk to them.
seems,
Yeah, you're right, he will have.
there's nothing worse than going to the end of your driveway and you go through all of my A Street when you pull off the road and you're just pounding up onto the road. And I
Well, I do
understand
it.
what you're
Yeah, it'd
saying.
be a gradual slope.
I can understand what you're saying.
I do it,
3 inches and 5 feet's a lot.
because I'm on the hill and my road is up here and my driveway's down here, so it goes true.
Yeah, now do you, so yeah, that's exactly what.
And then
you're
I have
doing.
a line that I have to fill in every year.
But it's not what she's looking for, that's what she's saying, that's not what they want.
No,
Well-
we don't, we want something gradual.
Right,
But
you-
every time we redo the roads, it's gonna get worse because we're bringing.
Well, that's-
so it will.
Sure.
So,
yeah, we're gonna demand that they have their pitch, and then we're gonna resurface the road, and
And
it's
when they
gonna
get
even worse.
Well, when you resurface your road, you cut the driveways back. Unless it's concrete.
Yeah, but we only cut them back to the lot line. Yeah, and then
Can't we say that a certain amount of
And the
feet
lot line's 15 feet though.
have to meet the grade, the grade or
I'll
the
talk to
pitch
Douglas.
of the road, of the highway or less? Let's say you go 8 feet or whatever, that has to meet the pitch of the highway or less. It has to be less than that, or at least match the road, whatever that is. Are they all two?
Usually they're
There's-
2%. Sometimes they're worse, sometimes they're
Yeah.
steeper.
Depends if you're on a curve. if you're-
Well, curve has a super on it. That's
Yeah, let's see what Doug comes up with for verbiage on that, and see if we all agree with it.
do you want me to send that to you, Josh, and then you can forward it to?
Sure.
our
At 8 feet, you're
members?
talking about this much.
Yeah, that'll work.
so
what
we're,
I'm talking.
we're
Enough for
gonna,
water to run.
Exactly,
And
it's
it
gotta
gives
go
you a
in.
little more for the
Because when
culverts.
he's plowing the road, that's what he's following, is the pitch of the road.
What's that, Al?
so for next meeting, we're gonna have on the agenda the driveway ordinance and driveway permit application update to approve changes.
Yep.
That'll be on the agenda, and we're going to make sure we consider striking the shared driveway portion of the ordinance. We're going to, are we adding at that time? I think we talked about it last time, I didn't hear it tonight, that on the application it says concrete cannot be used within the town right of way. That's without a permit or not at all?
Well, I thought
Or
we
without
were
a
gonna
waiver?
add
Without the words without a waiver, because
concrete, yeah, we were gonna add under material used for construction of driveway, concrete cannot be used within town right away without,
a waiver,
yeah,
because that's what it
Yep.
says in our ordinance. It just doesn't say it on here. So we're
without a
gonna-
concrete waiver. Yeah, we were gonna add that to the application.
Okay, and then we'll consider about adding language to the permit application that speaks to continuing the grade of the road to protect our equipment, making that clear on here, because we're worried that that's not getting
Well, it's
put into
equipment
practice.
and traveling public, because if your driveway like hers, the water runs off and it's gonna freeze that night. If you push it all out onto the road, now you got an ice box.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to come off and go into your ditch.
Okay, so that'll be, the minutes will reflect that that's gonna be an agenda item for next time, and we'll hopefully get some good verbiage from Doug.
Okay.
Sweet.
And if somebody doesn't build it to spec, that'll be the next thing. 'Cause once you pour concrete,
Well, like,
It's there.
like I said, if we tell them right on the application that
Yeah.
it can't be that way, and something happens, we can go back. I mean,
But it needs to be on this application.
yes, it
Yeah.
needs to be on the single piece of paper that they get.
Got it.
Agree to that.
Alright, so yeah, that'll be on the, that'll be continuing on the next agenda. Alright, CSM for Quality Control Solutions LLC, North Young Street, parcel 1800-153 and 1800-153 AA.
This one required me to go to the courthouse because it was difficult for me to understand how you could take two separate parcels and make a subdivision plat. And that's what the county was calling this, was a subdivision plat. So I called Emily to get clarification, and Emily no longer works there. Emily went back to Rome. So Jason Grutenberg explained to me that these two lots were divided within the last 5 years. And what the Wood County ordinance says is if the lots have been divided within the last 5 years, they're still considered one lot. They go back. So the one lot is now being divided, and once you divide it into more than 5 parcels, then it becomes a subdivision plat. So that's what this is.
7 new lots,
Yes,
and even though there were 2
Parcels.
separate parcels, it's
Yes.
being treated as one in terms of the application for this subdivision
correct.
plat.
And this is a preliminary plat. So he paid the $300. We are to review it to see if it conforms with our zoning code. And then if it does, we approve it. It goes to the board approves it. And then a final plat will then be presented with all the numbers like we're used to seeing, on the perimeters, to make sure that these are all correct. And I did find that there is a mistake here where it says CSM 10038 and CSM 10098. They're transposed. It should be the opposite lots. And I'll make that comment on that. Otherwise, it does conform to our zoning. So that's all I got to say about that.
So Lorelei, for the ones you were saying were flip-flopped or messed,
Yeah.
I mean, these are so small. What ones are you referring to?
Okay,
You
so
can't-
I gave you this is why I gave you this. It's a
Okay.
black and white copy. So you'll see it's two separate
Right.
two
that I
separate lots.
understand.
So the bottom lot, it differs in this, I don't know, did Paulette include this? Did she include this for you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you'll see on here, it says CSM number, and that's how they describe a parcel.
Well, that I understand. It's just,
Okay.
it's so stinking small and blurry,
Okay.
you can't.
They're just
see anything.
flip-flopped, you're saying?
Yeah, they're just
On the-
flip-flop.
Here's the-
Survey
It's,
work here?
it's just a matter of schematics. but
Okay.
You're talking lot 4 and 5?
Where it says, yes, lot 4 and
This
5, you'll see it
number
says
here.
lot 1
Flip-flop.
CSM. That's how
Yep,
it's
okay.
This
describing.
line is
Got
this
it.
line.
Okay, thank you.
So,
This
yeah,
was,
but it does meet all of our requirements.
And
And I
this is
will
the
say
line that we're
lot
seeing in the-
1.
yes, that's a yellow line. I think.
Okay.
It comes to the middle of the cul-de-sac that's currently at the end of North Young Street, but it does have the 75 feet of frontage on there. So if you're looking,
That's that little edge of asphalt, little
Yeah.
curve there.
right?
Okay. Got it.
So I did go and talk to Jason Grutenberg to see how to review this, if we should, he said, review it like you would a CSM, but realize that it is a preliminary. So if you find any mistakes, because I did tell him about that, and he said that, just write them down, and then when they come in for the final, then that's when they'll look at that.
It's better than this.
Is there a question?
No, I was drawing